Hi, this is Craziness. I normally do videos here, one because the harbor's back there, so I think it's a decent backdrop, but also because this is one of the areas of the aquarium where few other people come to. But for some reason today, this place is like all the rage. I've literally had like about 10 videos interrupted by people coming up here, so hopefully I can get a video out before someone else shows up. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that a lot of people have biases towards veganism and that they don't have the same kind of knowledge that we have, because there's kind of a thing known in psychology as confirmation bias, where you pay attention to the information around you that kind of confirms your view of the world. And most people grew up eating meat and dairy. Their families eat meat and dairy. Their friends eat meat and dairy. And they were taught that it's part of the 4 food groups and that it's really important for their body and stuff. And so they don't know all the stuff that you know. They don't see all the stuff you see all the time. When you're vegan, it's important to you, this stuff, so you're aware that the meat and dairy industry inflict a lot of pain on animals, that they're in tight living spaces, that they're mistreated, that they have diseases and get all these antibiotics put into them, and that they're not healthy. And you're aware that they're fed stuff they're not designed to eat, and it causes a whole bunch of extra methane, and that's bad for the environment, and the rainforests are torn down to make room for raising cattle and stuff. This is all common knowledge to you. Like, you've been exposed to this over and over, because these issues are things you're very concerned about and that you want to address, and one of the reasons why you've chosen the lifestyle you have. This information isn't so common to normal people. Like, even if it's out there, they're not paying attention to it because of this confirmation bias. They care about what's going to support their worldview and their way of life. Luckily, we have people like Arnold Schwarzenegger trying to get this way more out in the public eye, and I'm thankful for the efforts of people like him. So another thing is that a lot of people, they have prejudices and biases towards vegans. They think of us as super weak and anemic and protein deficient and all kinds of stuff. And this may seem silly to you because when you're on YouTube and you're vegan, you probably are aware of all these different vegan fitness channels, and you see people like John and Leo Venus and Vegan Gains and like the strongman Patrick, and the fact that the Hodge twins are vegetarians, so yeah, they're having dairy, but they're still not having meat and stuff. There's a lot of people that have broken these stereotypes, and yet a lot of these people still have these stereotypes. I'm not a super loud vocal vegan. I haven't been very loud and vocal about anything in my life mostly. You know, I love kung fu, I love lifting weights, I live a vegan lifestyle, I'm an atheist. There's a lot of things in my life that I kind of hold my cards close to me. I'm not the kind of person that tells people stuff a lot. I just live a good life, and people get interested and ask me questions, and I'm always frank and honest and tell them how things are, but I don't go just with a megaphone blasting things out. But anyway, because I am a vegan, sometimes people be like, well, why is he eating that or something, and they'll start asking me questions, and I'll answer them, and people are always really, really surprised when they find out I'm a vegan, because I know here on YouTube everybody makes fun of everybody who can't like squat or deadlift 1,000 pounds and bench press like 700 pounds, but in the real world, if you can bench like 300 or like squat or deadlift well over 400, people think you're strong. And I know there's different degrees and levels and whatnot, but compared to normal people, you're a big, strong guy when you're over 200 pounds and in good shape. And so people are always really, really surprised when they find out I'm a vegan, because I don't match the stereotype they have in their head. And you don't have to be that strong to blast that stereotype out of the water. Like, if you take care of yourself and are athletic and stuff, and you can even bench press anywhere near 200 pounds, you're gonna blast people's stereotype out of the water. So, you know, these people, they hold these stereotypes and that they have these biases, and it'll help you interact with them better and have more patience. I know you have a great deal of love and concern for your cause, and that's good, because it's a just cause. And I'm thankful for all the people out there doing what they can to advance the cause. But it's just good to know where other people are coming from. I mean, I know a lot of us have eaten meat ourselves for a majority of our life. Some of you were lucky enough to make the switch earlier, or super lucky and raised vegan, but that's not the case with a majority of us. So just be aware that these biases and stuff exist. I mean, I held them myself. Like you may know, I didn't go vegan until I was 40, and I tried vegetarian when I was young, like 18, 19. Didn't work very good. Gave up in less than half a year. Tried it one more time. I was still real young, like 19 or 20. It wasn't working. I gave up sooner that time. It only lasted like 3 months or something. And then I just didn't try for a long time. I had these same stereotypes and biases as all these other people, and so the only strong person I was aware of who didn't eat meat was Bill Pearl. He was a bodybuilder from back in the day before Arnold got big. And he was a strong bodybuilder. He could like tear license plates in half and stuff, and he was a vegetarian. But you know, I knew that he had his own farm, and so he like grew his own vegetables and everything, and I knew he had a lot of knowledge about nutrition as a professional bodybuilder. So I figured he had more knowledge and access to this kind of stuff than normal people, and that it would be really challenging and difficult. These were biases I held in my head, so I kind of let that example slip through my mind, and I wasn't exposed to another example that blasted my biases out of the water until I saw the video that Michael Clark Duncan did about going vegetarian. But again, I had enough of a bias that I was thinking, well, here's a huge 325-pound man who's in his early 50s now, and he's slimming down for health reasons to 275, so maybe this diet can sustain a majority of the mass he once had and keep him healthy and meet his current goals, but maybe it wouldn't have worked back when he was younger and big and huge and trying to stay strong. And then finally I saw the video of Patrick, and he's talking about how he likes using his strength to protect the weak, and his compassion's his strength and all that. And then at the end of it, it says he's a vegan, and that one just floored me, because he was straight up legit world class. I was like, whoa, this guy's strong and he's a vegan. This blasted all my biases out of the water, and that's when I was open to becoming a vegan. Like, before that, I had too many biases, and I loved strength too much, and was too scared that I would get all weak and have issues like I did the times when I was younger and went vegetarian. So it wasn't that long after seeing that. I mean, it was longer than it should have been, but probably a year or so, I switched to vegetarianism, and same thing happened as before. Like, the first couple weeks went great, and then I started having a lot of issues, so I gave up. And then maybe about half a year or a little less ago, I gave it another shot, but this time I decided to go full vegan, because when I was reading Patrick's book, I saw how he had a lot of the issues I had when he went vegetarian, but then when he went vegan, they went away. And it was the same thing. Even though I went vegan instead of vegetarian, the first 2 weeks were great, and then I started having issues. But because of my friend and stuff, we were able to troubleshoot and find out what those were. And after about 3 months, I got things turned around, and now I'm doing good and I'm loving it. and making progress and happy with my lifestyle. So just know that there's a lot of biases out there, and that not everybody has the same experience and stuff. Like, there are people who have body types like me for whatever reason, that I don't know if it's a lot of purging or what it is, but it's not fun the first 3 months or so. And so they have all these biases, they see all this stuff, and then they try it, and their body gives them bad feedback, and it matches their previously held biases and beliefs. You can see why it's not as easy to make the switch as you would like it to be, because obviously we would like to turn things around and change the way it is. And I'm so glad that there's all these people out here advancing this movement and stuff, and I hope it keeps gaining momentum, because I like the way things are headed. Like, I think it's a positive change. So anyway, I'm just letting you, kind of like reminding you about these things that you may have awareness of but kind of forget, because as a vegan, our own confirmation bias, we're always paying attention to all the information that supports our worldview, so it seems more obvious and like it's everywhere. But YouTube's a huge place, so these people go on YouTube, they're not seeing all these vegan fitness channels and all these vegan nutrition channels and all these videos talking about how the meat and dairy industry is bad and stuff, because they don't care. That's not what they're searching for when they come here. YouTube's huge, so anything you're looking for is like a needle in a haystack, and it's there to see if you're looking for it, but for the people not looking for it, it doesn't really show up. So just kind of reminding you that that stuff's out there, and that's one of those few areas that I'm thankful for people like Vegan Gains, who shake stuff up enough that people are kind of aware of the concept. But I don't like the way he approaches it, because I think he turns people off, but at least he gets awareness out there. Anyway, this video's gotten longer than I wanted, so put it into it. Hope you have a great day.